Hey you guys, welcome back. Okay, so this is video 2 of the prophetic dream. I have not named this video as of yet. So, okay, so you'll have to excuse me on that, but this is video 2. I'll leave a link for video 1 down below in the description box. Do bear with me. I'm not a very organized person, in case you haven't noticed. So anyway, okay, so the last part on the first video where I left off, it was right there at the word Holocaust. And what I was shown after I received the word Holocaust, really, it was a confirmation in and of itself of that word, Holocaust. And so, okay, so I looked into the Holocaust, and what I have found was that the Holocaust survivors, most of them had help during that war to avoid detection, and they had to have help provided to them by people that were not Jewish, someone that was inside the enemy's camp, so to speak. So and they also, it was like a sheep dressed in wolves' clothing to avoid persecution, to avoid the entire thing. They had to mimic being a Nazi, but in secret they were just as Jewish as the day is long. And so, so this is what I had found. And some, of course, you had the concentration camps. But now, some of the survivors, some of the surviving families would take up refuge. They would hide in wooded areas and have a family friend come in and help provide for them the things that they needed, so that they wouldn't have, they had no way of venturing out to get things to live, so they had to rely on other people. So I see overlap with this. I also see overlap with the Israelites. They stayed in a camp in Egypt. So, yeah, history tends to repeat itself for sure. Okay, so all right, the next thing I saw, this leads into the really neat stuff. Let me turn this off. It just irks me to hear a cell phone. I don't know why, but I don't know. I hate a cell phone. I hate technology. I really do. I mean, it's good for some things, stuff like this, but like cell phones and the way people abuse them, and I absolutely can't stand it. Anyway, okay, the next thing I saw. Now, where I was at, there was different levels of this I don't know where we were, but the terrain was like this. And then it would have sort of a flat surface. It'll go a little bit of ways, and then it went up, okay? And there would be lean-tos built. There was tents out there. People had found little shacks. There were several little shacks out there. And see, that's what my husband had actually helped the other people in the camp, you know, kind of bring the luster, make them livable. And, you know, he's really good at stuff like that. And so he helped. He helped with these things. But where I was at, there was another level up above me and a dirt path. And so I was standing looking up to where the dirt path was. And it looked like there was like these thinned out pine trees, rows of them, like perfect rows, no overgrowth, the brush, I mean, it was all clean. You could see straight through them. So I was looking up and looking through those trees. I spotted a German Shepherd. Now, Lord knows I love dogs, especially the working breed. The working breed. That is one of the easiest ways for the Lord to tell me something. Put a dog in it. And anything that is off about the dog, anything that the dog does, or the type of dog that is within the dream, I will know. I will automatically know. So I saw the dog, and those dogs back then, they look more wolf-like than what they do today. They're more long-haired today. The old style German Shepherd is like the Malinois today. And the German Shepherds back then, during the Holocaust, man, you did not mess with those dogs. They meant business. Those were very hard, hostile dogs. And so I was shown that dog. And this is like a Schutzen type dog now. I mean, the real deal. And I seen him running. He took off running. He was this like rent-a-cop type guy. He was supposed to have been there protecting like the perimeter. See, we had to like pool money together and pay this man. Okay? So he was a hired hand. But he was manning that dog. The dog took off running, and then I caught sight of what he was running at. It was a black man. There was a black man that started running. And I remember he had on like this long sleeve, it looked like a handmade shirt. And it come down almost to his knees, and he was wearing pants, white pants, but it was a handmade white suit. It was a little dirty because he had been out in the woods with the rest of us, right? He was a black guy, and he was taking off running, and the guy put his dog on the black guy. There was something, it had something to do with race. The reason why he automatically thought that he was an enemy. He automatically thought that he was an enemy. He automatically thought that he was a thief. Okay? And so he sent the dog after him. The dog went to go catch. But now he did not do a full bite. All this dog done was he grabbed his clothes with his mouth. He locked in on that and drug him down. It was a simple takedown. I was running up this hill going, no, 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 wait, stop, stop. I know him. I know him, stop. Well, the rent-a-cop grabbed a hold of the dog, pulled the dog off of him, and helped the black man up. When I come around to the front of the black man, now nobody touched the black man except for when the rent-a-cop picked him up and helped him up to his feet. Because it was a pretty hard takedown. So he helped him up to his feet. But he looked like he could barely stand up. He was like this. So weird. Nobody laid a hand on him. The dog didn't actually bite him. No harm came to him. And I could not understand it. But I didn't know this man. I did not know this man at all. But I knew him. I didn't know his outside. That I did not recognize. He was a black man in his late 20s to early 30s. But I knew him. And I told the cop, I said, he's one of us. He's one of us. I know him. So I said his name. I said his name. Now, an interesting thing that you may can look up on the German Shepherd, if you would like. Because I know it's kind of puzzling. Okay, how could that German Shepherd tell you that it, confirm it was the Holocaust? They had entire camps slam full of German Shepherds, and they would make those dogs attack the Jews because they thought it was funny. They tortured Jews with that dog. I ended up finding out that a German Shepherd is the very dog that Adolf Hitler owned. Her name was Blondie. And he poisoned his own dog, trying out some sort of pill on her. He was wanting to see a cyanide pill. He was wanting to see the effects of it. So he was going to use it on the Jews. So yes, the German Shepherd had every bit to do with the Holocaust. And I was very taken back by that. I was like, see, I didn't know that. I just know dogs. I did not know that kind of history. I don't get into death and torture and all this stuff. That's no, I'm not into that. So I didn't know anything about it. But the name is very strange. I said that the name, the first half of the name, there was two parts of the name. When you say it in English, which is the second time I said it, I said both words crunched together and it come out in English, or what we would hear as English, because once you crunch it together, it loses all the rolling and stuff from the foreign language. Okay, if that makes sense. So this is what his name was if you said it together and it come out in English. Cameron. But to make sure that I would separate them, the Lord had me say, I know his name. Cam. That did not make sense to me. And I was like, wait a minute. Now, how did I say that? And I was going, Cam, Kahim. Rohan is the last part of it. Now, when you're reading Hebrew text, it goes from right to left, not left to right, and it's one continuous word. So when you go to break down the names to see what the name meant, because who is the man? Okay, see, when I said that nobody had touched the man, the reason why I pointed that out, when I saw the man's face, he looked like he had been kicked in the face with a steel-toed boot repeatedly. His face was totally crushed. His eyes looked like just exploded radishes. It was awful. It was so awful. His skin was busted wide open. You could not tell. It looked like his face had been stung with 1,000 bees twice. Like, if you touched it, his face would just explode off of his head. This is how bad it was. I kept saying, I know him. I know him. In the dream, I was thoroughly convinced I knew the man, but I didn't know the form. It took a little while. Where have I seen that kind of damage? I saw bits and pieces. And this was before I read Isaiah. This was before I read the Gospels. I thought the devil was showing it to me. Parts of the crucifixion. That's some of the saddest stuff I've ever seen in my life. People really don't have any idea. But the damage done to Kahim's face was the same as what I saw on the Lord, but it was on a black man. Now, if you say the name backward, Rohan, Kahim, it means ascended peacemaker, ascending helper to the world. And that's who Cameron is. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this revelation. This is very shocking, but how did I know? How did I know that the name just held me? It's because I kept pressing. I kept pressing. Something's up. My mind kept going back to Cam. I don't know anybody named Cam. Dang. Well, who is Cam? I was asking all my daughters, y'all know Cam? And I was like, Cam. And I was like, And see, I knew that you read, and I've had names like that before, where I've translated names and got the meanings off of them, and found the meanings, and a lot of times, yeah, it's backward. you have to do it backward. You have to take that second part and stick it there on the first and read it that way. Because otherwise it was Peacemaker, ascended. So it's ascended Peacemaker because I did it backward. Anyway, I hope this makes sense to you. This stuff is so much fun once you can, you know, really start kind of weeding through all of the new things. And the thing about God is that He's constantly doing new. I'm doing a new thing. I'm doing a new thing. Forget that. I'm fixing to do a new thing. And it's true. It's true. I'll have my daughter call me, "Where have you been?" "I've been busy. God's been having me busy." But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope you got something out of it, and I thank you for watching.